Hey guys, One Up Indie here, turning this scene into that. And as you can see, this looks like a night and day here. Some nice lighting effect, some total stuff. And as you can see here, much better. So how can we do this? Well, I'm gonna discuss it theoretically so you know how to up your game. Once again, I am One Up Indie, coming with my first devlog for Super Demon Survivors, which will be here the character selection screen. So basically this is very reminiscent of a very, let's call it well, known game, and therefore we just cloned it a little bit because why not? Aesthetically they did quite a lot of good things. So the first thing which you need to understand is, for example, if you have sprites and you put them on a space and it's top down, they can appear out of place. So for example, if you just see this scene, they are there, they look good, but they kind of appear to be like flying or nowhere. So you need to establish that there is something below you, and below you most of the time, well, is a shadow if you have a top-down game. And this is, as you can see, the first thing, just a round rectangle with a small alpha value, and boom, we already got them on the ground in quotations. So the next thing which I did here, to have a glow around everything. So for example, all these things which are being highlighted have Spr Glow. So basically this is what you see in tons of video tutorials of mine and others. And basically you just do this, and then you say you just draw this little glow below something, and then you just give it an image blend of sea orange or whatever, and then you got a nice warm light around something, and then you flicker it a little bit. Of course it's not too dominant, because it needs to be kind of an ambience thing and not completely overshadowing everything. So here once again, pretty easy stuff. So if you don't know how to do that, link in the description below how you can well, do that in Game Maker Studio, or of course in other well, video game well, IDEs. So basically pretty easy to do. Then the next thing is, there is a slight focus on everything, and this is basically a vignette blackish transparent area. For example, where you are around the corners, it becomes darker, and you just face plant it on top of it, and boom, you got yourself a nice focus additional one, which is in here, and just so everything is centered in the middle around this fire. So this is once again just an optical illusion, which is just enhancing the overall feeling. So here the vignette, so the glow, vignette, and shadows. And then one thing which is kind of an interesting tricky thing, I just did it by accident, but I guess this is pretty sweet. So if I'm hovering over one of those enemies, then as you can see, they are changing the colors a little bit. And what I'm doing here is a thing which I actually did in Hotline Miami in the tutorial series. Yes, I did there a background, and basically you can just take this value out and just use it as an image blend for your sprites, and boom, everything is working pretty sweet, and then you got a nice color overlay for that. And as you can see, working pretty sweet, and I guess this will be a thing which I'm gonna send to my patrons also. And as you can see here, pretty sweet stuff. So you got a highlighting just to indicate to the player, hey, something is going on. Of course, maybe I wanted to do some outline, but I'm not on the newest version. I need to downgrade all the time, and therefore maybe I will add that at the very end. And then the last thing, which is kind of subtle, very difficult to see, that you have a glow which is stretching out and stretching in, stretching out and stretching in. And this is a thing which I do with an animation curve. So basically a value between 0 and 1, and we just go in and out, and then that is actually basically that thing with the sea orange, well, image blend, and boom, it is just basically getting stretched very slowly out and in. Hello, not rotated, stretched out and in. And this is basically giving some extra ambience around the fireplace. And this is basically it, how I kind of created the illusion that you got some light without actually having a really light system in here, and therefore to make it a little bit more appealing for the eye. Alrighty, hopefully you enjoyed this first devlog for Super Demon Survivors, and we will see you the next time with damage number pop-ups, because that's already in there. I read your comments. Yes, it's in there. I made it today, and tomorrow I will do some other stuff, hopefully of interest to you developers or people who just say like, hey, I'd like to know a little bit about, well, game design and how you can make things more atmospheric with little to no real resources. Alrighty, that was it from my side. Have a good one. One up in.